Hey everyone, this is Brad in Fort Worth, Texas. Wanted to do a review on the Wilson Combat SFX9. Only chambered in 9mm. This is the kind of commander size, I guess you would say. I think it may be a 4-inch barrel. You know what? Maybe, I don't know. It's 3 1/4 or 4 inch. I'm not sure. Because I know there's two models. There's one where that has the compensator, but the compensator is black, and I think that's a 3 1/4 inch. So maybe this is the 4 inch. But anywho, it's got the chrome slide, chrome compensator. This is cut for an optic. I don't know if the FSX, they may make one that doesn't have an optic cut. That maybe it's just iron sights only. But I'm going to use this as a carry gun. So I just need to get an optic put on there. The Trijicon RMR is usually the one I always use. That seems to work well with all guns as far as being compact. It's not the best field of view. You know, the SRO is better. There's some other good ones out there. But I do like the RMR. The window is small, yes, but as far as carrying or handling the gun, to me, it seems better to have something small. Just my opinion. So I'll probably put not too many, just a couple hundred rounds through it. I picked this up a couple of days ago, and I got this with a Scottsdale Tactical. They were awesome to deal with. They have some really cool guns on there too. But man, yeah, they were great. As soon as I basically clicked purchase, the ball started rolling for getting the order out. I mean, it was here in Arlington within a couple of days. And obviously, they're in Scottsdale, Arizona, or somewhere around Scottsdale area. But great company to work with. I would definitely use them again in the future. Covert was great too. I'm sure there's a lot of great ones. Those are just the ones that I had experience with. After shooting a gun, I'm extremely impressed. This is the first Wilson Combat I've owned. Um, Kind of the X cuts or diamond cut. I don't know, X, diamond, whatever. Serrations, I think, are great. You get a lot of traction. It's not sharp. It's, but man, you get a ton of traction off that design they have there. I thought the Ed Brown with the snakeskin serrations was good, and it is. It's good, but man, this is really really nice. I like this a lot, and I think this is probably like, I think the SFX is basically an EDC, the Wilson Combat EDC, except um, the grip panels and stuff cannot be changed on this. Like, it's just all. I don't. It's not really one piece. I've seen talking about how the grip is all one piece. It's really not. Um, I mean, I can kind of see the cutout of the grip panels. Now, why you wouldn't be able to change those out, I'm not sure, but you can't. This is what it is. It's got the X cut or diamond cut pattern on the front. Um, I wish it had something here, a little bit of texture. I really like on the staccato. The staccato XC has that little bit of sandpaper feel. I do like that. Um, there wasn't much customization with the gun. 3.5 pound trigger pull weight. was what you could go with. I think you can get a 4.5. I don't know. You get two choices. So I obviously went with the lighter one because I really like the light trigger, and I've gotten used to the Atlas and Staccato that have that sub 2 or 2.5 pound trigger pull. Limcat was the same, sub 2. I really like that. Um, I don't know. It's maybe not the best, probably not the best choice if you were actually having to defend yourself when your adrenaline gets going. Um, Unless you're really smart about your technique and basically not putting your finger on the trigger unless you're going to fire it. So I do love the sub 2 pound trigger pull weights, 2.5 pound like the Staccato. I like that a lot. But using it for self defense, yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to have your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to shoot. But so yeah, this will be a carry gun for me. I got a holster from Wilson coming in, and because I have some for some 1911s, but with the rail, it doesn't work. Need something a little more wide. Here, we'll just get a couple of readings on the trigger pull weight. As far as how the gun shoots, it's real soft, man. What I'm basically figuring it out is any gun with a compensator, even a shitty gun, is going to make the gun softer shooting. Uh, it was crazy. I just got well, I've had an FN 10 millimeter for years, and for the price, I think FN makes a pretty good gun, just in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's not the tightest tolerances and all that stuff, but for the price, it's pretty good. Um, but anyway, so I got a suppressor for it from Silencer Central. I think it is the Banish 45 is the model number on that. And oh my God, man, when you put a suppressor on a 10 millimeter, it's like shooting a 22. I had no idea that was the first time I've ever shot a firearm with a suppressor. But damn, I was super impressed. And that's with a 10 millimeter. Took the 10 suppressor off the 10 millimeter, the FN, shot it, recoil, typical 10 millimeter. You know, it's kind of a lot, I think, at least compared to a 9 or even maybe a 45. I think there's a little bit more, maybe it's a little more snappy than a 45, but as far as recoil goes, it's pretty similar. But man, that suppressor on there was amazing. And it's like, God, I couldn't imagine putting a suppressor on a 9 millimeter because that would have to be the softest shooting gun, at least a lethal gun that you could own. Now, the suppressor that goes on that 10 millimeter, it's big. I mean, it's longer than the fucking gun. And, I'll do a video on that here in a minute. But anyways, so let's just get a couple readings on the trigger pull weight on the Wilson Combat FS. I'm never going to fucking get that right. SFX9. £2, 14 ounces. 3 pounds, 2 ounces. 3 pounds, 6 ounces. So most of the readings I was getting prior to this was around 3.2. So it's 3.5 pounds roughly in there. Biscuit. Yeah, 214. 2 pounds, 14 ounces. So yeah, it's all around 3. 2 pounds, 12 ounces. I don't know. This is a Wheeler machine. It's probably not as good as the Lyman. I didn't know. I don't know. Fucking Amazon, man. But anyways, I don't know how good. This thing may be a total piece of shit. But I think it's pretty close. So yeah, it's all been around 3 pounds. 3 to 3 pounds, 4 ounces, somewhere around there. 3.5 is what I picked. Actually, the Ed Brown, that 1911 Ed Brown's a little bit lighter trigger pull, but I've also put thousands of rounds through that. So once the spring maybe loosens up some, it might get just a tad lighter, but probably not too much. There was another video that Honest Outlaw dude that does all those videos. I think whenever he had done a review on the SFX9, he had said something about how a screw was broken or missing. I think he said it was broken on the plate. And so whenever I got this, the same kind of thing, hopefully that kind of comes through. And what I'm thinking, because it doesn't look broken, like it almost looks like it's there for a purpose. I don't know what the purpose is, but for his to be the same way and then this one is the same, there's got to be a reason behind that. I haven't taken these other 3 screws off yet because I just want to see kind of what it looks like under there, but there's got to be a reason for that. I can't imagine Wilson Combat sending out fucking guns with broken screws. And the thing is, it's a perfect, you probably can't see in there, but it's right like a half screw. Like it's for something. I just don't know what it is. I kept meaning to call Wilson Combat, and I probably will, just for my own knowledge of why it's like that. But for whatever reason it is, it kind of tripped me out at first. I was like, son of a bitch, the same thing that happened to that dude happened to me. But I think there's a reason or something of why that's like that. But anyways, so the gun feels great in my hand. It feels really, really nice. It's pretty thin. It's not, there's no swell or palm swell or anything like that to it. You get a little bit of arch on the back strap, but it's extremely, it's normal, I would say, kind of like any gun or most guns. Gun shoots great. It's extremely accurate. Recoil is minimal due to the compensator. The slide, it'll loosen up some. It's still fairly tight. I don't know, hopefully y'all can hear that. It's not perfect. Hopefully, let me shut up for a second. So hopefully you can hear that. It's kind of, it's definitely metal on metal. So it's definitely not the smoothest slide. The tolerances are not perfect. It's not like a staccato. It's not like an Atlas or a Limcat or I would even say the Ed Brown slide, the way it feels and how it's very quiet. Like you don't hear any, rubbing of metal like you do on this. Now the price point on this was about $3,400, $3,500, somewhere around there, maybe a little less than $3,500. So it's not a $7,000 gun. It's definitely, it's not an Atlas or anything like that. It's not a staccato. Maybe closer to some of the other models of staccato, the CS or P or some of those others. The only experience I have with staccato is the XC. Now, these are different kinds of guns. The Wilson Combat's a lot smaller, lighter. Um, but yeah, as far as the slide, it's it's not it's not like butter. The metal rubbing to me is annoying. I mean, I think even on a $3,500 gun, it should be pretty quiet. Now, is it going to slide like an Atlas or staccato? No, but I mean, shit, this thing, the staccato XC is only $600 more, and the staccato XC is a lot better gun. Different, but around that same price point. Uh, it's good. I wish I could get an Ed Brown because I really do like the Ed Brown. I think for their price, they make amazing guns. I would say you couldn't use this. It's too small to use as a thumb rest. Safety's fairly tight. I don't know. You can still get a little. It goes back just maybe a millimeter. But again, it's a very good gun, but it's not a great gun. Maybe the Wilson Combats, like some of the 1911s, um, that are 6,000 plus. Those are probably smoother, or at least I hope so. But yeah, the metal on metal rubbing, to me, that's annoying. But overall, I'm happy with the gun. I will keep this, use it as a carry gun. I'm going to get rid of the Ed Brown, that 1911 Ed Brown, even though I really like it. But man, once you start porting and compensating barrels, I mean, it's as far as your follow up shots is where it makes a huge difference. And so, uh, yeah, man. I mean, even if you had, like I said, a normal Glock gun, if you put a compensator, port a barrel, do something to disperse gases, oh my God, it'll basically turn any gun into twice as, I mean, 3 times, 4 times less recoil and more manageable to control. I think, I don't know, that's maybe aluminum grip. It's not polymer, but I mean, it kind of is almost one. I don't know. I've just seen videos out there saying how the grip was all one piece, and it kind of is, but it's kind of not because you can see where, unless they just machined that to make it look like it's actually, I don't know. Maybe it is all one. Fuck, it doesn't matter. One thing I do know, the slide. I mean, dude, this is probably some of the softest metal. Like I barely nicked it with something. I think it was just the slide stop. Um, Taking it out, dropped it, and it like left a little blemish on the gun. And I was like, God damn, that seems real soft. But I tried buffing it out as well. I didn't want to go too much and take off some sort of finish, but I will say that shit is soft. Maybe too much light, man. serrations here. A little bit on the hammer. Top, this is serrated. It's nothing special, they're just straight. It doesn't come to a point or anything like that. But I do like the serrations on the slide. Man, you get awesome grip. The front sight does glow in the dark. I wish there were two. I wish the two in the back had little, basically, something that glowed in the dark instead of just having a front that glows. Which, you know, when you put your optic on there, it really doesn't matter then. But so yeah, really good. I was impressed with kind of the middle of the road price tag for a Wilson Combat. Um, I mean, yeah, the gun feels great. It just shoots awesome. I mean, you may have a little bit more recoil on this than a staccato in the Atlas, but it's not much. I mean, um, yeah, man, it's impressive. The compensator does it changes everything. It seems to get more dirty. I even know that with the or notice that with the suppressor. Man, when you don't allow when you kind of stop those gases from um, you know, you're redirecting the gas. That gas wants to just blow in a straight line out the end of the barrel. When you start changing it, it seems like I have noticed the gun gets more dirty, more carbon buildup. And I think that there is a benefit to having a gun with no compensator just because it keeps your gun a little cleaner. Everything is blown out of one hole, basically. Here, you know, you have three. I think those are open. Yeah. So you have one large uh, port on the compensator, then two smaller ports. But yeah, to me, it does seem like the ported and or compensated uh, pistols, or probably any gun, it just gets more dirty, so you have to clean it more often, which I don't mind. I clean them quite a bit anyway. Um, but if you are the kind of person that doesn't want to clean your guns and you just want to shoot and shoot and shoot, you'll probably have some issues at some point, just with the carbon buildup. See if we can, hopefully you can see the kind of the, so we kind of know the trigger pull weight already, around 3.5, 3.25. The take up until you hit the wall, I would say it's pretty minimal. I mean, extremely minimal, just like a staccato or an Atlas. I'd say it's the same. Another thing I do like about it, there's no grip safety. I was pretty happy with that. I was trying to get you kind of the reset. Resets, I don't know. To me, it's a little long. But it's crisp. I will say that. Not bad. Probably not long. Just probably a little longer than what I've been used to shooting. But no, it's good. I mean, it's. I'm not complaining about that. So just to kind of be clear. And let's see. Let's see. I know this because of the way the slide style. Here, let me see. See if we can do this. So the slide stop, kind of that little notch right here, it's pretty long or pretty big, at least on most of the other guns I've seen. Um, Not a big deal. The only thing that was a little tricky, uh, basically lining up. You know, you to get the slide stop out. There's always that little notch, kind of behind your larger notch, because of the um, thumb stop basically rest to stop the slide from coming forward was pretty long. It kind of took a little bit to get that sweet spot in order to get the slide stop out, which was kind of weird. I can't even remember if it was at the front or back. Maybe it is at the front. I don't know. I'm assuming this slide stop, because I've only taken the gun apart once, or other than now. I don't know why there's already so much wear. Basically, taking that DLC or armor tough, whatever that black finish is. I'm not sure kind of why it's already that worn, but for whatever reason it is. So it's got that little buffer. I think kind of like all Wilson Combats. There was another gun I was taking, maybe I can't remember which one it was, but it had that little buffer too. Maybe the Atlas. Maybe they have that. Guide rod, it's short. One piece. It was very easy to take out. You don't. I guess maybe since it's not a full size, you don't have to push the guide rod through. Basically, raise that little nipple on there in order for the kind of frame to catch it to push that bushing out. It's very easy to remove, clean. But yeah, man, not a bad gun for the price. I was really happy with it, or am really happy. It's kind of I was kind of wondering how it was going to turn out just because I've never had a Wilson Combat before. And I'm sure at some point maybe I'll get one of the real nice ones. There's a couple other 2011s I want to run through. Um, yeah, if anyone knows, one guy had made a comment about the Phoenix Trinity, which I do like those. I think I probably going to maybe try one of those out next. But basically, the Hayes Custom, that Phoenix Trinity, the Terran Tactical, oh, and the Lago, I think it's Lago. Basically, they make, or the Alien gun. I really want to try that just because it seems like I think a gas system, so it's a little different. Maybe the recoil is probably more at you as opposed to muzzle flip, but that looks pretty interesting. I want to try that. So, if anyone has experience with the Terran Tactical, Hayes Custom, the Lago Arms, and what was that other one I said? Shit. I don't know. I did that Venom. There's a company out there, Venom. The only reason why I haven't gone that route, I do like the cool, like some of the how they blew some of the trigger and parts and do some cool stuff as far as finishing goes. I'm not gonna get the Venom because it's too much like an Atlas. Any gun or whenever I start reading, kind of doing research before I actually buy a pistol, if there's a lot of things on there, like it says Atlas frame or Atlas slide, I'm not gonna get it because I already have an Atlas. I want something that's totally different. Um, there's a lot of gun makers out there that are trying to, or at least by the looks of it, to me, it appears like it's an Atlas. They're trying to make it like an Atlas, and there's really only one Atlas. And so, yeah, if there's parts that are Atlas parts, I mean, I'm talking about major components that are, a frame and slide that are Atlas. It's like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay $7,000 or $8,000 for a gun, basically for a different kind of finish or a different facade, because I already have an Atlas. So that's the reason why. So some people that made comments, or hey, have you tried the Venom? No, the reason why I haven't is because of that. And the gun looks badass. Don't get me wrong; it looks cooler than an Atlas, but it has a lot of Atlas parts in it, and so it's kind of like, well, you're basically buying an Atlas. You're buying a gun that wants to be an Atlas. So that's why I think the Lago arm, the Alien, the Terran Tactical, the Phoenix Trinity, the Hayes Custom. Even though the Hayes Custom does kind of remind me of the Nighthawk BDS9, the way the frame is cut, I really want to try one, but I keep kind of getting hung up on. It just reminds me of the Nighthawk BDS9, which there's nothing wrong with. It was a very nice gun, but and I know that they're using the Nighthawk, basically that interchangeable optic system, and so I know that there's some influence there. I don't know. I mean, basically, from my perception of looking at the gun and then seeing how they've incorporated a Nighthawk benefit on their firearm. I'm talking about Hayes Custom. I I believe it is a better firearm than the Nighthawk BDS9. I think the slide and stuff is a lot smoother, basically, from what I'm seeing. I haven't, like I said, I have not tried it yet. I'm just debating on whether kind of next guns to try out. But yeah, the Hayes Customs, I think those two dudes are building great guns. And I think just the gun looks reminds me of the Nighthawk BDS9. but I think it's a better firearm than the Nighthawk, just because it's not a mass produced. You know, mass produced. Saying that lightly, I know Nighthawk isn't mass producing probably any of their guns, um, but definitely the BDS 9 is a lot more common than the Hayes Custom. So if anyone has experience with those, man, if you don't mind, let me know kind of what your thoughts were. My goal, I love Atlas, the slide and everything. It's just so smooth. That's kind of what I'm going for, or that's what I prefer. Probably everybody does, I'm sure, but yeah, I don't know. Just hopefully, I can find someone out there who has fired and held and played with the Atlas, as well as the Phoenix Trinity or the Hayes Customs or the Terran Tactical or some of the other manufacturers out there. But any feedback's greatly appreciated. Kind of like I've said in my other videos, I do this for fun. I'm not a competition shooter or anything like that. This is not, I don't make money doing this, but I do like trying out a bunch of different guns. I'm hoping the Infinity. I don't know. They said 90 to 120 days. Well, July 12th is the 120th day, so hopefully that'll be coming in soon. And yeah, there is another Infinity, but I didn't buy that other Infinity. Or basically, when they release them online, I think I only purchased that a month ago. Maybe I don't even know if it's been. Yeah, it's been a month. I think it was early June when I picked up one of the ones that they had released. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this SFX9. Even though I wish they SFX. I don't know. It doesn't roll off my tongue. I wish they would have just said FX9. SFX. I don't know. So hope you enjoy. We'll see you soon.